Manly never imagined that. As soon as she took over the ranch her husband had left her, the foreman, who had long been in cahoots with the competition, would leave along with all the workers. Before leaving, he even ordered the cattle scattered. Helpless, Manly could only watch as the herd fled in every direction. To get the ranch back on its feet, she decided to promote Mort, the only one who knew how to break horses and handle cattle, as the new foreman. But Mort knew very well that Nigan, the rival, was the tycoon who monopolized all the ranches in the north, and he didn't want to go up against him. So he turned down the promotion and raise, and even advised Manly to accept Nigan's buyout offer. "You'll never beat him. Best to sell the ranch, take the money, and get out of here." After saying that, he turned to leave. Mort was Manly's last support. She ran after him and begged him not to abandon her. To persuade him to stay, she nearly knelt before him. Though Mort hesitated for a moment, he ended up mounting his horse again to leave. Desperate, Manly offered him triple the pay, and also promised to give him the best horse on the ranch. Mort looked at the magnificent horse in the stable, thought for a few seconds, and agreed to stay. Thus, an inexperienced ranch owner and a newly appointed foreman officially joined forces, determined to break Nigan's monopoly. The first thing was to round up the thousands of cattle that had been scattered as soon as possible, but Mort explained that they needed at least 6 riders to gather the herd. Counting the young, Afro-descendant boy, who knew the situation well, they only had 5 people. Manly had no choice but to ride herself. Though she knew how to ride, she had no experience driving cattle from horseback. She shouted with all her might to herd them, but the cattle moved and scattered even more instead of grouping. After much effort, the herd had barely moved. Mort had no choice but to take on almost all the work himself. He organized the others to watch the flanks and rear of the herd, while he went back and forth, coordinating non-stop. Thanks to everyone's hard work, they managed to bring most of the cattle back to the ranch. But before they could rest for a moment, several policemen showed up. The white colonial government was promoting so-called civilized education and intended to forcibly take all Afro-descendant children to an island where they would be educated. According to white culture, the boy's mother couldn't bear the thought of being separated from her son. So as soon as she saw the police arrive, she ran with him to hide inside the water tower. But the old tower ladder suddenly broke, and mother and son fell straight into the water. The two struggled desperately to stay afloat, screaming with all their might for help. However, the windmill kept spinning non-stop, and the roar of its blades completely drowned out their cries. Meanwhile, Manly kept trying to convince the police, assuring them that there were no Afro-descendant children on the ranch, unaware that inside the water tower, that mother and her son were about to drown.